Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Austin the Grand. In today's video, we're gonna show you how to go from the door to the roof to the kitchen table to eventually putting a sign in the yard. For those of you who don't know me, I've been doing door-to-door sales for 4 years. I made $64,000 in 4 months, and this is how I did it. We got a couple neighbors that we're taking care of down the street, so one thing I always like to do is knock everyone else in the neighborhood because we're here for a reason, right? So this is the neighbor to one of our customers, who lives 2 houses down, and we also got another neighbor who's to the left of them, 2 houses. They just pulled in, so we're gonna see if we can grab a quick conversation and see if we can hop on the roof. These are gas, but these are a secret. Shh. Hello, hello. Howdy.
Hi.
How's it going, ma'am?
Good.
I've been trying to catch you guys home. I take care of a couple of your neighbors. I had a quick question. Do you know how old the roof is?
No, my
Okay.
husband let me ask him.
Sure. That little guy is ferocious. Does he pay rent?
We're just dog sitting.
You must be the king of the castle.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
It's nice to meet you. I'm Austin. This is my bodyguard, Eli. We tried to catch you guys a little bit earlier in the week, but I don't think anybody was home. We take care of right here, the fire chief, and then who lives on the corner here, and then a couple others. You guys have probably seen a couple of our signs.
Yeah, I've seen them.
But while we're here, we're really just taking some photos for you guys so you guys kind of know what's going on with the roof. I asked your wife, and she didn't really know the question, but do you guys know how old the roof is?
No, we've been here for 12 years,
Gotcha.
so it's over that.
It's a beautiful neighborhood you guys live in. It's quiet, it's super nice. I mean, you have Travis, who's a fire chief right here. Never have to worry about that. And a bunch of people who are just super nice. Like 4th of July around here was awesome. I'm conducting a bunch of these reports. So for a lot of the neighbors, the roofs are around 20 years old. And the biggest 3 things that we're finding is a lot of flipped up shingles for one, a lot of leaking right where that back slope meets the patio. And the third thing we're seeing is just because we live in Arizona, there's a lot of thermal cracking. So what I do is I compile a report for you guys so you kind of know exactly what's going on with the roof. The biggest thing that I've seen in the neighborhood is that everyone's shingle is discontinued. And so I make sure to document that because if you guys hypothetically were to go through the insurance company, it helps tremendously. So I kind of document it for you guys. The second thing I wanted to show you is that there was a bunch of ROC code violations in this neighborhood. For example, since a lot of these roofs were put up in like 2004. But the one thing that I was surprised about was that all these roofs are 1 layer. So that kind of helps you guys out. Just a little bit. Real quick, when's the last time you had someone take a look?
My son looked at it when we first moved in.
Gotcha. You guys did like a temporary repair?
Yeah, just a temporary thing.
How long ago was that?
Oh, I don't know, probably 5 years ago.
5 years. Do you know who your carrier is? Do you know who you guys go through homeowners insurance through?
I don't.
No worries.
My son is an insurance agent. He gets
gotcha.
it for us, so.
Gotcha.
And he just shops around and always gets us the best.
The best prices?
Yeah.
That's the way to do it right there.
The best coverage and the best price.
That's the way to do it right there.
Yeah.
Well, real quick, if you got like 10 minutes, what I would at least like to do is just take some pictures for you guys so you know what's going on.
Okay.
Just give me like 10 minutes. I'll hand you this booklet. Just kind of look through it. A couple pieces of information, like 1, our liability insurance, 2, our contractor information. It's got some shingle colors in there for you. And we even have an example of like what an estimate looks like from your insurance company. So just take a look. You said that repair was on the right side?
Yeah, right up there in the corner.
Okay. I'll take a look and then give me like 10 minutes. I'm just going to take some pictures. I'll pop down. I'll show you guys what I find. And then like whatever you guys decide to do, that's up to you.
Okay.
All right. All right, guys, welcome back. First knock of the day. Obviously got to leverage the neighbors to take care of a couple. So I just kind of mentioned them, as you guys probably heard, kind of let them know exactly what we're doing. And I put the ball in his court. I mean, that's all you can do. And we'll kind of see what's going on with there. We'll take you guys with us, obviously. I think the biggest thing when you're talking to somebody is just kind of hear what they have to say. Love the one you're with is what, the owner would say. And just figure out what their problem is, hand them a solution. I always ask a lot of questions. For example, I always ask, like, do you know when these damages occurred? Or do you know when these repairs were done? Because one, it kind of opens their mind into having a conversation about the roof, and it also gives me some insight on what's going on. So when we hop up there, we'll kind of see whether or not this system is repairable. And we'll also look and see if it's discontinued. But asking those questions is super, super, super important because it leads you down the conversation. And when you sit back down with them, it kind of makes a little bit more sense. So we'll hop up there and I'll kind of show you guys what I'm looking for and how this kind of correlates into the sale. Cool, guys. Like, again, we're here in Phoenix, Arizona. This is the first door we knocked today, and we were able to kind of get on the roof. We're gonna take some pictures for you guys, but we want to really show how easy it is. Like, as long as you're calm, collective, you're confident on the door, you know what to say, you know how you can help. It's really easy, and we'll kind of show you along the process. Once I'm down, we'll kind of show you how I set an appointment, how I kind of read their body language to figure out if right now was a good time or not. And then we'll tee it up, and I'll show you guys how easy it is to get it done. Now that we're on the roof, obviously I want to identify the shingle. I kind of want to get a count of how much stuff is going on. But one way I kind of solidify the appointment is while I'm on the roof, I'm kind of getting a bunch of different areas that I can present to the homeowner. So for example, I'm going to take a picture of some repairs. I'm going to show him based on the repair itself that it's just not repairable. As you can kind of see, and we'll kind of show you later, there's a bunch of creases. On this front slope here, we got a couple shingles that are missing. So we got one right here, we got two over here, and these are just mental notes that I'm gonna take in. And then when I show the homeowner, that's how I'm gonna present them. As far as like what I'm gonna do to set the appointment, I'm gonna plant seeds throughout the conversation. So for example, I might plant a seed like hypothetically, if you were to go through the insurance company, this is what we're gonna do, but we'll get into that a little bit later. For now, let's focus on this. His brain is already kind of wrapped around the idea of going through insurance. I just gotta give him the green light. So we'll kind of document all this up and we'll take you guys down with us. One thing to always consider when you're looking at a roof is that wind is always directional. So it's always gonna come from the south. That's why when you look at this kind of shingle, you can see that the granules on this side are a lot more beaten up than the north. So whenever I like knock with somebody new, a lot of people think that, oh, that roof looks brand new, right? But sometimes you might be on the other side of the street and the back side of the slope is the one that's damaged. So what I always like to do is know kind of what you're looking for as far as a roof, know if there's drip edge, look at the fascia, see if it's old. Also, familiarize yourself with shingles. A lot of the time I can just look at a shingle and know exactly what kind of product it is, and that helps a lot when you're when knocking a neighborhood like this. Another advantage when you're on a roof and you're setting an appointment is look at the neighbor's roofs. You can kind of tell right here that from the ground you may not see anything, but I can see 3 or 4 shingles that are missing, and I can look at the age of this roof and just know that it's roughly 20 years old. And over that 20-year lifespan, there's probably something going on, and I can leverage being on the neighbor's roof as well as having a few customers. So always kind of use that in your back pocket if you want to bring in new revenue or if you want to kind of expand what you already know. The biggest things I tend to find on a back slope is there might be creasing, there might be thermal cracking, or in some cases, you might have a tab that's missing. And those all come into play when you're talking to the homeowner about whether they qualify through insurance or what kind of options they need in order to get a new roof. So just make sure that when you're on a roof, you're doing a thorough assessment, you're looking at every possible corner. And one thing to note is that most of the damages that you're gonna find, it's gonna be on the corners of the roof or right where the back slope meets the flat. So look by the ridges, look by the edges of the roof, because that's where wind is the most compatible to lift that up and rip the adhesive. So just keep that in mind. Based on the fact that this shingle is discontinued, I have one shingle on the back that's missing. I have a repair done 2 years ago that at this point in time, it's not a repairable product. I mean, you guys can see that. You guys can kind of see exactly what's going on, but the minute I make repairs to that, it's gonna crease the shingles above it all the way to the ridge. Let's kind of do a walkthrough of the damages. So the first one on the list is right here. As you can kind of see, there's a shingle missing right by the ridge. We can obviously help get the back slope replaced because of that. Here again is another creased shingle, as you can see. So when these roofs get older, around 20 years old, they just tend to be more susceptible to wind. Another shingle right here, as you can see, was compromised. So we have 3 missing tabs. And you know this was from creasing because you can see the horizontal line at the top of the shingle. So we'll make sure to document that and show the homeowner. Here's kind of some other areas too where we found some damage. So I think in total we found around 7 to 8 shingles that were either flipped up or compromised. Here's kind of another one right here. We also have one right by this valley, so to give us a little more leeway when we contact the insurance company. On the back side of this, you guys can kind of see the repair that was made. They tried to make the repair, but just because of the age of this shingle in general, you can kind of see that every shingle above it was compromised. So for example, each one of these tabs is easily able to lift up. That's why we kind of marked it. And you can kind of see, based on the fact that the shingle is no longer there. So we'll kind of document up for this for you guys, go down and show you how I set an appointment. All right, guys, now that we've gotten all of our pictures, we're ready to go down there. I'm gonna go through exactly what I found on the roof. Right before I went up, I said, hey, when I come down, I'm gonna knock on the door, we're gonna sit down and look over some pictures. So the minute I knock on the door, I'm gonna try and get inside. I'm gonna try and sit down so I can show them this information. The minute I get inside, I'm no longer a stranger. I'm a friend, remember that. So they've seen what the process is, and once they look at the damage, it's gonna be a no-brainer. If in the off chance they don't wanna do anything right away, which is a possibility, then I always make sure I set an appointment. I never leave without getting their phone number or an email and a set time where I come back later. And then next time I come back by, you better believe I'm gonna bring something that's gonna help them out. So we'll tag you guys along and I'll show you exactly what that looks like. You got a couple minutes?
Sure.
I'm gonna show you some pictures if it's okay.
Come on in.
Man, it's hot up there. Who's this guy?
That's our grandson.
That's awesome.
He's nuclear
Submarines?
something. Yeah.
Really? That's
Yeah.
crazy. My whole family's in the military.
Are they?
That's why I got a buzz cut.
I told my husband, you look like you remind me of him.
Really? That's awesome. I'm glad. Well, if you guys got 10 minutes, I just want to show you some pictures. Did you get a chance to look through the booklet? I'll kind of show you guys right here, if that's all right with you guys. The main three we look at is compatibility, availability, and repairability. A lot of people out here think that you could get a full roof replacement just on the fact that there's tons of damage, but it's a lot more technical than that. A little bit about what we do. Really, when it comes down to it, there's 4 options that you guys can do. 1, you can do nothing. 2, you can do repairs. But when you do repairs on a 20-year-old system, it's kind of like putting Band-Aids on a bullet wound, if you know what I mean. The third option you guys have is if you go retail, which means you would pay out of pocket for a new roof. But for some of the homeowners, they just don't have $10,000 to $15,000 to spend on a new roof. And so that kind of leads to the fourth option, where they're responsible for is your deductible. I work for you guys. And so my goal is just to get the roof approved, and you guys have time. You guys don't pay me right away. You only pay me once I get it approved. We actually work on contingency that states 3 things. The first one is it gives me your guys' authorization to work on your behalf. And I'll kind of get into that a little bit later. We're kind of beating the bush. But the second thing is that I only do the work for the exact amount of money that the insurance company provides. So no more or no less. It's a price lock guarantee. So say, for instance, this roof costs $15,000, and I'm just throwing out a number. But say it costs 15, and they're only going to pay 13, I can't come back to you guys and say, hey, you guys owe me $2,000. I only do the work for what they pay for, and the only thing you guys are responsible for is your deductible.
I honestly don't remember.
No
Where
worries.
did you find my phone?
Thank you. It's under the papers that you were making.
I'll tell you what, if you guys can't find it right away, that's totally fine. Actually, and had to do the exact same thing. I'll just give you guys my email, and then when you guys are able to find it, you guys can just kind of let me know. I'll kind of wait for her to come back, but how long have you guys been married?
And I,
3 years, 54.
53 years you guys have been together?
Yeah.
What is the secret?
I'm always right.
Yeah, she's always right. And you have to stay afraid.
Yeah. I have an assistant in the office. She gives you guys updates on a weekly basis. Do you want me to put your email down or your wife's?
Probably mine. I can always forward it to her.
Do you want to type it in real quick? Makes it a little easier, because sometimes I misspell stuff and it just... What I'll do for you guys, don't worry about it right now. If you can find it, that would be awesome, because I'll kind of go over your coverages. But if not, what we can do is I can set an appointment with you guys later in the week when you guys have a little bit more time to kind of look for that policy. And then we can sit down, look over everything, and then if it makes sense, we can go ahead and do it. If not, no worries. We'll part as friends. Try and find some time in the next couple days. And then if you guys are able to find it, or if you're able to get a hold of Matt, just email it to me. I'll give you guys my card, and I'll give you Abby's information. So my email's on there, my phone number's on there. You have Abby, she's the one that contacts you guys on a weekly basis. So one thing I need from you guys when you have the chance, just send over your policy information, like a policy number and who your insurance company is. That's all I need. Well, we're kind of on the roof now after the kind of meeting we just had. A lot of it's just reading their body language. Sometimes you don't have a first touch where you got to read the customer, you got to see what they need, and then you set the appointment. For it just made sense that we do it right away. And so what we're gonna do is kind of finish up our pictures. We're gonna make sure we get pictures of everything. So Eli's gonna write 4 pipe jacks, 3 T-tops, 1 antenna, 1 satellite dish, and a couple other things. So we'll make sure to document all of it so we have it in our records. That way we don't have to come back. We just have all our pictures ready at once. And if the adjuster ever needs something, then we have the pictures for it. So we'll kind of keep doing what we're doing, and we'll tag you guys along. Hey guys, again, thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far in the video, we really appreciate you guys kind of seeing what it's like to set an appointment here at Hilco. If you guys are young, hungry, and you guys want to make a difference in your life, please click the description down below. We're actually hiring 4 new guys for the summer to kind of tag along with us. You guys will be front row on how we do things. So if that's interesting, click the link down below, leave a like, subscribe. And if you guys have any questions on how to set an appointment, how to be calm, cool, collective, just comment down below. Like again, see you guys later. Elko Roofing for life, baby.